Hi there, Serial Trader here. It's time for a Bitcoin update because I now finally see a very recognizable corrective pattern, which should be setting up for quite a nice trade here, and more continuation to the upside once this is resolved, which it may already be. And we'll go through some scenarios here. Okay, so from our all-time high at just under 42,000 here, at least on Bitfinex, 41,969. I'll go over some scenarios. So in this scenario, we got 5 waves down for that initial wave A. We had a 3-wave corrective rally for wave B, so ABC up for B. And now we're working our C wave, which should unfold in 5 waves before we would complete this 3-wave decline, this zigzag ABC, and then we'd be looking to go back up and make new highs. So in this scenario, and I'm going to focus in on the C wave here because this is the most pertinent. I mean, this already happened. This A and B already happened, so no need to look at those in great detail. But the C wave, so I think we got initial wave 1 down. This to me looks like a nice 3-3-5 expanded flat wave 2. Okay, and then this would be our wave 3 down. This would be our wave 4 bounced. You can see it did not actually overlap with wave 1. So as long as that high, which we have here at 33,850. 33,850, yeah. As long as that remains intact, we still have this potential 5th wave down to at least a marginal new low as a potential scenario before we finish this wave C. So my preference, now I actually did buy some BTC here. I didn't catch the absolute low, but I did get into the 29s here. And one of the reasons I was so interested in at least starting to buy was the AC equality relationship. So this initial A wave down, the length of that projected off of the B wave peak, the equality relationship for C would be down here at 28,667. We did get as low as 28,989. So in that area was certainly, for me, an area to start buying. I didn't want to, completely load the boat because it just didn't look like it was necessarily quite complete. And if we come down here one more time, maybe we go, down to 28, 27, maybe 25 even, because sometimes you get that real extreme last burst before you finish the move, and maybe touch the bottom side of this corrective channel. That would be, depending on how long this takes, that could be anywhere between 25 and 26 to hit the bottom of the channel right now. That would be an area where I'd be really interested in going quite heavy, more aggressive. So that's this scenario where we have a 5-3-5 ABC. Another scenario that's also very much viable is that the low is already in place, and instead of labeling it an ABC, we got ABC down for W. Now, this initial decline from the top, it's tricky because you can label an ABC with a very exaggerated C wave, or like before, you could go back here to that other scenario, and you can kind of make the case that we got 1, 2, 3. If you go in closer, see on the hourly chart, not on the 4-hour, but the hourly, you could go and say we got this little bounce here, which could be labeled as 4, and then one more move down in 5. So you can get 5 non-overlapping waves down to call that the A wave. But you can really make the case for either one, and to me, you're kind of splitting hairs at this point. It doesn't matter whether this is ABC down for W, and then ABC up for X, ABC down for Y. Whether that's the case, or whether it's 5 down for A, 3 up for B, 5 down for C. Either way, overall, it's a 3-wave corrective decline, either complete or nearing completion, depending on which count we go off of here. And either way, the real trade here is to play for a move back to beyond those prior highs, and probably well beyond them. Okay, just another little thing to throw in here. Hang on. Is we have the this is just a candlestick chart, BTC daily, no labels, just some moving averages. So down here is the 200-day simple moving average. Here's the 50-day, and here's the 20. So I like that we're kind of getting close here to the 50-day simple moving average, because that's a pretty common moving average to get a reaction at or around when you have a strong overall trend up on the daily time frame. So say we come down one more time and just slightly break down below that 50 and then bounce back up, or just slightly take out that old low, that 28,000, almost, well, it's almost 29,000, just below. If we take that out by 1,000 or 2,000 or so, and then start going up again, that's a nice kind of moving average reaction. Completely aside from the nice Elliott wave pattern, whichever one is in play here in development. So either way, I think the play is for a nice move up as far as the trade goes. Now, let's just let's assume or pretend that the low is in place and that this is the WXY down and done. Well, if that's true, we can make some reverse Fibonacci projections for some upside targets, and nice common targets would be the 1.382 and 2. And if we just go up here and look at that, so 1.32 against to almost 47,000, 2 against almost 50,000. So anywhere in the low 30s or high 20s up to potentially 50 or 47. That's quite a nice move. Now the thing about Bitcoin, and I've been playing with Bitcoin for years at this point. Whenever I make technical targets, they're often achieved, and more often than that, greatly exceeded. So just because we have a target up here at 55 or 47, it could easily go to 70, 80, 90, before you get the next pullback or whatever. So if we get there and still looks like there's plenty more juice left, say we just got a real early impulse wave in development, doesn't look mature at all, and we're already at these targets, that doesn't mean he sells just because he made target. Maybe move some stops up or whatever, but just to get a general idea of some upward expectations, knowing that they could be greatly exceeded with something that can move the way Bitcoin moves. So yeah, basically, as far as the trade setup goes, you can start getting long here, or you can wait, or hope that it comes down and makes one more lower low. That's kind of what I'm hoping to put on a larger size. I already have some, like I said, in the 29s. Love to get more below that, but if not, I mean, if this is what we're working here, and we're already the lows in place, well then perhaps we got one here. Maybe we're working our 2, 3, 4, 5. If that's the case, wait for that first impulse wave up, break out this corrective channel, wait for the 3-way pullback, maybe test the upper line of the channel, which was resistance, then acts as support on the way back down, right? And then play there. That would be your entry for that trending move up afterwards. So just some thoughts there. If we don't come down to make a lower low, I'll just hold on to what I have and wait for this kind of a setup. Be real selective. But if we do come down here, which would be my preferred scenario, I would just be aggressively loading here on one more leg down. So that's what I'm seeing here on BTC. For the longest time, I mean, yes, it was going up, but it wasn't overly clear, where we were at in the pattern. So you never want to just buy the top tick and then have the correction start right where you bought. That's kind of what I'm aiming to avoid. So that's why you wait for these corrective periods, these consolidation patterns, to actually have a clear idea of where we are, some upward targets, some levels to risk against to the downside, actually define a real trade as opposed to just saying, oh, Bitcoin's going up every day, I better just buy some here. I mean, it can work, but it can also go very, very badly. Anyone that's been around Bitcoin more than a few weeks or months here knows how badly it can go if you buy at the wrong point or don't have an actual trading plan. All right, well, I just thought I'd share that with you because this is a very clear, actionable, bullish trade setup in development on BTC. And sure enough, all the articles that are calling for Bitcoin to go to zero or get hacked or the double spend bullshit, which was definitely BS, didn't happen, or all these regulatory crackdowns. I mean, again, if you've been around Bitcoin for more than a few weeks or months, if you've been in this for a number of years, you've seen it all before. Every time you have a corrective pullback, all the doomsday Bitcoin's gonna die articles come out, and when the price is going up, making new highs, you see all the articles. Oh, it's going to a million. It's going to 500K. Blah blah blah. Now, even if it is eventually going there, if those articles serve no purpose other than just they're an expression of the sentiment at the time, as far as price action goes. So keep that in mind. For me, ignore all that bullshit, ignore all the noise, just focus on these technical patterns. They give you a lot of good information. They can give you very high confidence entries, and they can help manage the position along the way. So that's probably all I wanted to cover here on Bitcoin. Definitely a nice trade setting up here. I'm very confident we're going to go and make new all-time highs eventually. It could take a while. Sometimes these corrective patterns develop more complexly. Like for instance, what if we just have the initial three-wave move down, and then we have another X wave, and then we have another three-wave move down? Like this can definitely develop in a more complex way and chew up more time than you expect. That's certainly happened before too. So I'm prepared for that. But as it stands right now, with the price action before us, this is definitely either most of the correction already in place, or at least the bottom line is it is corrective in nature. This is not a trend changing kind of move. This is not a crash. This is not the next crypto winter beginning, if you will. This is a opportunity within a still developing uptrend, in my opinion. And I think I've laid that out for you here. So do what you will with that, but just thought I'd share it since I only try and make videos when I actually see something that I think is worth pointing out. And in this case, that's what I'm seeing here on Bitcoin, a bullish opportunity. Or if I get a request, I'll usually make a video on request if it's something that catches your eye and you want my perspective on it. Usually more than happy to do that. All right. Have a great weekend. Serial Trader signing off.